My beloved child, listen closely because this message has reached you at a moment when your heart has been quietly seeking reassurance even if your lips never spoke the words, and Archangel Michael is near you now, not as a distant idea but as a powerful presence of protection, strength and divine guidance, and he wants you to feel this not with fear but with peace, because true protection does not come from being scared, it comes from being held by something greater than yourself and your family is. Wrapped in that light even on the days when worries feel heavier than hope and you may not always see how it works, but there are forces moving around you gently guiding you away from harm and towards safety, and every time something in your life almost went wrong but somehow didn't, that was not luck, that was divine intervention. And Archangel Michael wants you to remember that, because when you walk with faith and trust, you are not walking blindly, you are walking in alignment with a higher power that sees what you cannot see and protects what you love most. And as you watch this message, your heart is opening, not because you are being forced to believe but because your soul recognizes truth, and that truth is that you and your family are not alone in this world. You are being watched over, guided and shielded by divine energy that stands between you and what could hurt you, and even when challenges come they are softened by that protection so that you grow instead of break. And Archangel Michael is asking you now not to panic about the future, not to be consumed by fear, but to lean into trust, because when you choose trust you activate a calm, powerful force that begins to move things in your favor. And that is why this message matters, not because it demands anything from you but because it reminds you of the protection that is already yours. And as you continue listening, feel your shoulders relax, feel your breath slow, and feel that gentle knowing inside you that everything is going to be okay, because divine protection is not something you have to earn, it is something you were born into. And Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of that promise, guiding you and your family through every unseen storm with unwavering light. As you continue to hold faith and trust in your heart, Archangel Michael is drawing even closer to you now, not to command or threaten but to gently strengthen the invisible shield that already surrounds you and your family. And you may begin to sense a subtle shift inside you, a calm where there used to be worry, a steadiness where there used to be fear. And this is because when you choose to listen with an open heart, you allow divine protection to move more freely through your life and protect the people you love in ways that are not always visible but are always real. And there are moments when danger is quietly redirected, when arguments that could have become painful somehow soften, when a delay keeps someone from being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And these moments are the language of protection speaking softly in your life, and Archangel Michael wants you to recognize them, not so you become afraid of what could have happened, but so you become grateful for what was gently avoided. And this gratitude strengthens the bond between you and the protective forces that walk with you. And as that bond grows, you begin to notice that even challenges feel different. They no longer feel like attacks, they feel like lessons wrapped in safety, guiding you toward wiser choices and stronger relationships and a deeper understanding of yourself and your family. And this is how divine guardianship truly works. It does not remove every obstacle, but it makes sure that no obstacle destroys what is meant for you. And when you move forward with faith, you step into a flow where even the hardest moments are held in a higher wisdom that keeps you from being overwhelmed. And Archangel Michael is reminding you now that your family's Well-being is not resting on your fear or your constant worry. It is resting on a network of spiritual support that responds when you trust more than when you panic, and when you allow your mind to release the habit of imagining the worst. You create space for the best to arrive. And this is why watching with faith and trust matters, not because something bad will happen if you don't, but because something beautiful unfolds when you do, and that beauty begins inside you as peace then moves outward. Into your home, into your conversations, into the way you show up for the people you love. And when peace enters a family, protection naturally follows, because calm minds make wise decisions, loving hearts heal misunderstandings, and steady spirits attract the right outcomes. And Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of this harmony, helping you remain centered when the world feels chaotic, and reminding you that no storm lasts forever, and no darkness can overpower light that is being consciously chosen. And you are choosing it right now by staying present, by listening, and by allowing your heart to open to the possibility that you are deeply supported and guided. And this guidance is not something distant. It moves through your thoughts, your instincts, and even the quiet nudges that tell you when to speak, when to wait, and when to walk away from what no longer serves your peace. And as you follow these nudges, you will see how protection becomes practical in everyday life, leading you to safer paths, kinder connections, and moments of grace that seem to arrive just when you need them most. And Archangel Michael wants you to remember that faith is not blind belief. It is a partnership with the unseen, where you do your part by trusting, and the universe does its part by aligning circumstances in your favor. And this partnership is what keeps your family moving forward even through uncertainty. And when you feel tempted to doubt, pause and feel the breath in your body, because even that simple act is proof that life is supporting you in every moment. And as long as you are alive, you are being protected in ways you may never fully understand, but will always benefit from. And this understanding allows you to let go of fear and step into a future that feels lighter, safer, and more hopeful. And that hope is not fragile. It is rooted in the quiet strength of divine guardianship that does not need to announce itself loudly to be powerful. And as you continue to hold faith and trust, you will notice that doors open, conversations heal, and paths become clearer. And this is Archangel Michael's way of showing you that when you align with protection, you begin to live in a state where even the unknown feels safe, and even the future feels friendly. And this is the true promise behind this message, not a demand, but an invitation to live from a place of trust, so that the shield around you and your family can shine more brightly with every step you take. Archangel Michael is guiding you deeper into a space of trust, where you begin to realize that protection is not something that appears only in moments of crisis, but something that quietly works every second of your life, even when you are unaware of it. And when you choose to stay present with this message, you are not being forced into belief. You are simply allowing yourself to remember a truth that your soul already knows, that you and your family are part of a divine design that is watched over with great care. And this design is constantly being adjusted to keep you aligned with safety, growth, and peace. And sometimes this means opportunities appear out of nowhere. Sometimes it means delays that feel frustrating but later reveal themselves to be blessings. And sometimes it means people leave your life because their path is no longer meant to walk beside yours. And all of this is part of protection, even when it doesn't look like it at first. And Archangel Michael wants you to understand that When you hold faith and trust, you begin to move with this design instead of against it, and when you move with it, life starts to feel less like a struggle and more like a guided journey. And this is what brings true security, not the absence of problems but the presence of guidance through them, and your family is held within this guidance just as you are, and every loving thought you have for them, every prayer, every moment of concern sends out a vibration, strengthens the invisible net of protection around them, and you may not see it, but it is there weaving through their days, keeping them from harm, steering them toward safer choices, and surrounding them with the right people at the right time. And Archangel Michael is asking you to trust this process, because when you trust, you relax, and when you relax, you allow protection to flow more easily, and fear tightens your spirit, but faith opens it, and an open spirit attracts harmony, and harmony invites safety. And this is why staying connected to this message matters, not because something terrible will happen if you don't, but because something beautiful grows when you do. A deeper sense of peace, a stronger sense of guidance, and a quieter mind that no longer jumps to worst-case scenarios. And as you continue listening, let yourself feel how your breath becomes slower, your body softer, and your thoughts gentler. And this is the state in which miracles occur, not loud dramatic miracles, but quiet shifts that change everything, a conversation that heals, a decision that saves time and energy, a choice that leads you away from what could have hurt you and toward what will help you grow. And Archangel Michael stands with you as this steady force, reminding you that protection is not about control, it is about care, and that care is always present even when you forget to notice it. And now you are being invited to notice it again, to feel it in your heart, and to allow it to guide you forward with courage and trust, because when you walk in faith, you walk with a guardian by your side, and when you walk with a guardian, you do not have to be afraid of the road ahead. Archangel Michael is reminding you that faith is not passive, it is active. It is the choice to believe in a loving force even when you cannot see it, and when you make that choice, you create a bridge between your worries and divine support, and across that bridge come solutions, comfort, and quiet miracles that show up in simple everyday ways, like a phone call at the right time, a helpful stranger, or a sudden idea that leads you out of difficulty. In these small moments are the fingerprints of protection all over your life, and the more you acknowledge them, the stronger that protection feels, because gratitude amplifies what it touches, and when you are grateful for being safe, you become even safer in spirit and in mind, and this inner safety shapes how you interact with the world, making you calmer, wiser, and more grounded. And a grounded heart is much harder to shake by fear, and Archangel Michael wants this grounding for you, because when you are steady, you can support your family with love instead of anxiety, and love is the greatest form of protection there is. Continues to surround you and your family with divine light. He wants you to finally feel what protection truly means, not just as an idea but as a living presence moving through your daily life, because protection is not something that only appears when something bad is about to happen. It is something that quietly shapes your every step, even when you think nothing special is going on. And this is why so many times you have been guided away from trouble before you even realized there was danger. And maybe you remember moments when you suddenly decided not to go somewhere, or changed a plan, or felt an urge to call someone, and later discovered that those small choices made a big difference. And those were not random, those were whispers from the same force that is speaking to you now through this message. And Archangel Michael wants you to understand that when you listen with faith and trust, you become more sensitive to those whispers, and they become clearer, stronger and easier to follow, and as they become clearer, you begin to move through life with a quiet confidence that you are being led somewhere safe even when the road ahead looks uncertain, and this confidence is what keeps fear from ruling your heart, because fear thrives in the unknown, but faith transforms the unknown into a place of possibility, and when you live in possibility you stop expecting disaster and start expecting guidance, and that shift changes everything for you and your family, because the energy you hold inside your heart flows outward into your home, your conversations, and even the way you react to challenges, and when that energy is calm, trusting, and grounded, it invites solutions instead of conflict and harmony instead of chaos. And Archangel Michael is asking you now to release the habit of imagining the worst, because that habit was formed from past pain, not present danger, and your past does not get to decide your future anymore, because you are stepping into a new season where protection is stronger than fear, and where trust opens doors that worry could never open. And you may still face problems, because every human does, but those problems will no longer feel like threats, they will feel like stepping stones guiding you toward growth and understanding. And even when someone you love is struggling, or when circumstances feel heavy, you will notice that there is always a quiet support system around you, helping you find the next right move, and that support system is part of Archangel Michael's guardianship, working in subtle ways that keep your family from being overwhelmed. And this is why it is so important to stay connected to faith and trust, because when you do, you stay connected to guidance, and guidance is the invisible map that keeps you from getting lost even in the darkest moments. And Archangel Michael wants you to know that no matter what has happened in your past, no matter how many mistakes you think you have made, you are still worthy of protection and love, because protection is not something you earn, it is something that flows from the divine simply because you exist, and you and your family are precious in the eyes of that higher power. And as you allow this truth to settle into your heart, you may feel a gentle warmth or a quiet sense of peace, and that is not imagination, that is alignment with the protective energy that has always been there waiting for you to trust it. And the more you trust it, the more you will notice how life begins to feel less heavy and more guided, as if even when challenges arise they come with hidden solutions. And this is Archangel Michael's promise to you, not that life will be perfect, but that you will never walk through it without support, and that support will continue to guard your family, your choices, and your future, as long as you keep your heart open to faith and your mind open to trust. And when you do that, you become part of a divine flow where protection and peace walk with you every step of the way. Archangel Michael continues to stand beside you in this sacred moment. He wants you to understand something very important about protection that most people never realize, which is that protection is not just about being kept safe from danger, it is also about being guided toward what is right for your soul and your family. And when you listen with faith and trust, you begin to sense those gentle nudges that tell you when to speak, when to stay silent, when to move forward, and when to wait. And these nudges are part of the shield that surrounds you, because they keep you aligned with choices that lead to peace rather than pain. And sometimes you may feel unsure about a decision, but then something inside you quietly whispers to choose the calmer path, the kinder path, the safer path. And that whisper is the voice of divine guidance working through Archangel Michael to keep you from walking into situations that would drain or harm you and your family. And this is why being present with this message matters because the more you connect with this energy, the clearer those whispers become and the more confidently you can move through life without fear. And Archangel Michael wants you to know that even when the world feels unpredictable, you are standing in a field of spiritual order that is constantly being adjusted to support your highest good and the good of those you love, and this order brings people into your life who offer help and removes people who bring chaos, not as punishment but as protection. And you may look back on certain relationships that ended or certain plans that fell apart and now see. Listen closely, because Archangel Michael is here now more than ever, surrounding you and your family with light, strength, and unwavering protection, and he wants you to feel this not just as words but as a living, moving presence around you, as if an invisible shield has been quietly built around your home, your loved ones, and your very heart. And this shield is not something that stops life from happening, but something that ensures that even when challenges come, you are guided through them safely, that even when difficulties appear, you are given the wisdom and insight to act in ways that protect your peace and the peace of those you love. And perhaps you have already noticed moments in your life when danger was avoided, not because of luck, but because a quiet divine hand redirected you, steered conversations, guided decisions, and even delayed events so that what could have caused harm never reached you. And all of these were small manifestations of protection, manifestations that often go unnoticed. But now, as you watch this message with faith and trust, you are becoming more aware of how deeply you have always been guarded, and Archangel Michael wants you to understand that true protection is not only about keeping threats away but also about providing clarity, opening paths that serve your highest good, and creating opportunities for harmony and love to flourish in your home and in your relationships. And when you allow yourself to connect with this presence, you will feel a profound shift within, a sense of calm replacing fear, a sense of confidence replacing uncertainty, because protection does not mean there will be no challenges. It means that you are never facing them alone, and that every step you take, every decision you make, and every moment you share with your family is gently guided toward the safest, most beneficial outcomes. And this is why Archangel Michael emphasizes faith and trust, because faith is the bridge that allows you to feel this protection. Trust is the key that unlocks its full power, and without them, the shield still exists, but your awareness of it remains dim. And the more you open your heart to believe, the more you can feel, sense, and even consciously work with the protective energy surrounding you and your family. And this energy is not limited by time or space. It moves with you wherever you go, entering conversations, influencing choices, softening potential conflict, and even gently nudging people and circumstances in ways that preserve your well-being. And now, as you let these words sink in, allow yourself to release the tension you may have been carrying. Allow yourself to feel that invisible shield around you. Allow yourself to feel that even in the chaos of life, there is a calm, a certainty, a divine order that cannot be shaken. And Archangel Michael wants you to remember that the more you choose to align with this energy, the more your actions will naturally reflect safety, harmony, and love, and you will notice that your relationships with your family strengthen, your decisions become clearer, and your inner peace grows, because protection is not only about external safety but also about internal stability, emotional resilience, and spiritual alignment, and the more you trust, the more miracles in the form of timely opportunities, synchronistic events, and intuitive guidance will appear to show you that you are never alone, that you are always guided, and that even when challenges arise, you are not only able to face them but to do so with a clarity and confidence that transforms potential chaos into lessons, blessings, and growth. And finally, Archangel Michael wants you to hold on to this message, to carry it in your heart as a reminder that faith and trust are not passive. They are active choices that awaken protection in every aspect of your life, your family's life, and your future, creating a life that is safeguarded not by fear but by love, light, and unwaver. Archangel Michael is standing by your side even now, guiding your heart and your spirit toward a place of clarity, protection, and unwavering trust, and he wants you to understand that the shield around you and your family is not just a promise, it is a living presence that moves with you through every decision, every conversation, and every moment of your life. And although life will continue to present challenges, obstacles, and moments of uncertainty, you are never walking alone, and each time you feel fear, doubt, or hesitation creeping into your mind, remember that Archangel Michael is there, quietly redirecting circumstances, whispering guidance to your intuition, and guiding you toward safety, love, and peace. And protection does not always show itself in obvious ways. Sometimes it comes as delays that prevent mistakes, sometimes as coincidences that feel miraculous, sometimes as a sudden idea, a sudden impulse, or a sudden pause that prevents you from going down a path that could harm you or your family. And this is the way divine guardianship works, quietly, persistently, perfectly timed. And as you continue to open your heart with faith and trust, you will begin to notice that even the smallest actions begin to carry weight, that every moment of mindfulness, every prayer, every loving thought for your family, strengthens the shield that surrounds you. That your faith is not just a feeling but a force that actively engages with the divine protection surrounding you. And even when the world outside feels chaotic, dangerous, or uncertain, there is a calm current moving beneath it all, guiding you, steering you, and holding your loved ones safe. And this is why Archangel Michael emphasizes the importance of trust, because without trust, the shield exists but cannot fully flow through your awareness. And when you consciously align with trust, you begin to feel the protective energy in every corner of your home, in every conversation, in every interaction, in every choice that you make, and it creates an invisible network of guidance and stability that is almost impossible to disrupt. And this protection is multidimensional. It affects your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your relationships, your timing, your opportunities, and your emotional resilience. And you will notice that even the challenges that appear in your life seem to carry solutions already embedded within them. If only you pause and listen, if only you remain present, if only you open your heart to recognize the guidance that has always been there. And Archangel Michael is reminding you now that protection is not about avoiding life. It is about living life fully while remaining anchored in the knowledge that no harm can reach you or your family without first passing through the shield that surrounds you. and as you allow these words to resonate, let yourself feel the flow of divine energy moving through your body, your home, your family, your mind, and your heart. Expanding outward and inward, strengthening the very foundation of your well-being, and as this energy moves through you, it creates a sense of confidence that is not based on controlling outcomes but on knowing that you are guided, you are loved, and you are protected in ways that surpass human understanding, and this protection allows you to act with courage in moments that once would have caused hesitation.